Hi guys, and welcome to Spenelli Speaks. I'm Dani, and this is my very first booktube video. So in booktube fashion, I am doing the newbie tag, the booktube newbie tag. So welcome to my channel. Like I said, this is my very first video. I'm super excited to join this community. So let's just jump right into the questions. Now, I am not going to answer all of the questions. I've seen a bunch of newbie tags and wanted to kind of select a few that just make sense to me. So that you can get to know me a little bit, and as we kind of go through this journey together, we can kind of build off of each other's comments and discussions, because that's really the main reason why I want to join this network of people. So first and foremost, my name is Dani. I am from Wisconsin, if you can't tell from my accent. I try not to be too Yooperish, if they say that anymore. I'm actually from the northeast side of Wisconsin, so some of us have accents and some of us try a little bit harder not to. But my channel is going to be called Spenelli Speaks. I've had that nickname since high school. If you all remember Disney's Recess, Spenelli from that show, I dressed up like her for a hat day at school once, and the name has stuck since. So in good true fashion of a nickname, I'm going to go ahead and keep it strong here in my early 30s. So Spenelli Speaks is how we're going to get this channel rolling. So welcome. The next question is, why did you start this channel? Obviously, this is my very first video, but the reason why I would like to start this channel is because I really love discussing books. I currently hold a master's degree in humanities, with English being my emphasis, so discussing books is my life. It's really my heart and soul, and I want to be able to share that with others. I actually started a discussion group on Facebook about 2 years ago. Had I known about this great community on YouTube, I would have joined you then. However, with that group kind of growing, talking about good books has really just inspired me to keep on going, and that is why I'm here with you today. The next question that I have here is, what will be unique about your channel? I have to say it's hard to answer that question, because so many of the channels that I've seen on Booktube, everyone is so unique, and all of the books that I've been seeing I've never heard of before, and I love that. I love recommendations. That's one of my biggest things that I've noticed now, is being able to learn from others and see what kind of books that you really bring to the table. Being able to learn from a different perspective is just awesome. So for unique for me, I think for me, I want this channel to be more than just books. I want it to be the premise, the main idea, but I also love to try new recipes. So I think with maybe some of the cookbooks that I'm reading, really sharing what recipes they have available and showing you kind of how I process through that. I also really love to travel, so maybe bringing you along on my adventures, what I'm reading when I'm out on the road or in a different country, and how that really speaks to me when I'm reading it in that environment. I'd love to bring that to the table as well. And really just engage with viewers, really have discussions about books, whether you're a fellow booktuber or just someone who's looking for a good recommendation. I'd love to interact, which I think is a big reason why we all come to this community. So I really welcome that. What are you most excited about? The obvious answer, joining a community of people who truly have the same goal in mind, and that's just to communicate, really have that recommendation out there, and to find a new perspective. A lot of us, sometimes we get into our own kind of shell of what we like to read and the books that we really gravitate towards, and anytime I've gotten a recommendation, it's for a book I've never heard of before, a genre I've not really been too keen on, it almost always turns out to be a book that I love. So I'm really excited to see what else is out there, see what people recommend to me, and then really dive in feet first. So why do you love reading? Oh boy. A lot of the times when I was a kid, it got me out of doing things, and what I mean is I would hide in my closet while I'm supposed to be cleaning or something like that. My brothers were really good about that too, especially when we were moving, they'd hide and read. But you know, it's easy to say you can escape into another world, but really I think it helps you embrace your world, you know, to see a different perspective. When you read from an author that has come from a different world than you get so many different perspectives that really allow you to see your world in a different light. And that's what I really love about reading. I also really like to see new things. When you see a different world or a different kind of character, it really boggles your mind to know that someone has created that. Someone took the time to develop that world, to think about what the readers would like, and that to me is just truly fascinating. What books or series got you into reading? You know, I always come back to 5th grade. 5th grade, we had reading challenges that we would earn ribbons and all that. And I remember distinctly reading Dr. Dolittle and being so excited that I could read a book that was this thick and just being so proud of myself. And for me, that was just the pinnacle. And from there, it was, what more can I read? What bigger book can I read? I think for me, series have always been a huge part of what I like to read because I always like to see where the characters are going. So series of unfortunate events, Harry Potter, obviously, the Chronicles of Narnia, all of those books that had character develop throughout the series were huge for me. I loved those books. I always love seeing characters grow. So series are amazing to me, and it could be fantasy, it could be, you know, contemporary, just as long as I can see where they're going the next, you know, time around. So what would you ask other booktubers? Boy, I think for me, just, you know, what keeps you going? How do you build on your content? How do you find the time? You know, me, I have a full-time job. We have a 12-year-old at home, 2 dogs. Sometimes it's, where do you find the time to read all these books? I can't promise that I'm going to be able to read, you know, 10, 15 books in 1 month, but sure, going to try to do what I can to contribute for sure. What challenges will be the hardest to overcome? I think that goes hand in hand with that time management. Really getting in, sitting down, doing the videos, talking to viewers, getting those comments going. I think that's going to be my challenge, is just trying to get it all done. Where do you read? I read pretty much wherever I can find the time and the space. So for ebooks, I typically will go when I'm on the go, if we're traveling and I don't want to carry too many books with us. And then also my audiobooks, I have about a half-hour to 45-minute commute, so I'll do an audiobook in the car, which is actually harder for me. I am not an audio learner, so I have a really hard time with audiobooks. I have a hard time being able to comprehend everything that's going on. So for me, I lack the audiobook skills, so I do them from time to time. And then my hard copy books, anywhere in the house, usually in the living room, on our sofa, or in our bedroom. The last question that I have here, what kinds of books do you like to read? Boy, contemporary, I like series, fantasy novels. I also love to reread books that I liked in the past. For instance, any of my YA books, I like those, or children's books that I really enjoyed. And then I really go off of recommendations from Goodreads, from friends and family. I love Mitch Albom, Dan Brown, Virginia Woolf. I love the modernist era, so it's a lot of different kinds of books. But yeah, so for a first video, I am realizing a few things I want to catch up on and try to be better for next time. But I truly hope you are going to join me on this journey and hit subscribe and the bell and everything else that they like to say, or what I'll be saying. Would love for you to join me. So thank you so much. See you next time.